Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Titleist, the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Better, when the greats bet, they bet with Better. Ping will help you play your best. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
Hello, everybody. This is a Talk Birdie to Me mini. And Nick, you started this one, and Dan has a very long memory.
He does.
You were talking about smelly opening holes. We actually get on the first tee. And you just...
Some holes fix your eye, and
you're
others...
just not comfortable.
No.
And I'm glad you brought it up because we were talking about the lakes. And
the opening tee shot.
Yeah, I've told this story before. Back in the old days when the tee was front and centre,
to the right.
that was a really squirmy hole. I mean, you had water left, you had garbage on the right. And it was, I would always
used to have
just
trees down the left, and then they opened it right up, and
it was a big,
then they moved the tee further over, and all of a sudden you're hitting. I remember playing one year the Australian Open where the wind was straight into us, and the carry to get over the water was 225, 230 metres. So if you didn't catch it, you had to aim down the right, and it's like this narrow, slopey thing. And if you go too far right, you're in the dune. It's horrible.
Abraham Answer won there, didn't he? I think he did. Could you just check that there? I think Abraham Answer won.
I know Peter Senior won there
at the Lakes. And I was there. I hadn't been there for a long time. I was there doing some commentary work. And I couldn't get over where they put the tee. Like the first tee and the 10th tee at the Lakes kind of used to be like a little set square, one pointing one way, one pointing the other way. But they put the first tee right around the lake, and I stood there with my mouth open because the day that I got there was the wind that you don't want as a right-hander.
Horrible.
Which is the left to right wind when the water's on the left, because it becomes crazy easy to bail out and to avoid the water. But then if you're bailing out, the wind's pushing you miles
up into the sand.
And then if you decide to guts it out and I'm not going to bail out, it's very easy to hit the one that goes left and
because you're reloading
and the wind doesn't touch it.
And you're reloading, it's not crossing anywhere.
That's right.
Anyway. So
that's one.
Put that at number one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know whether there's no order in this. But
put that at number one. So I might do a few of the Aussie ones. You do because you played so much golf internationally.
Can I jump in here, guys? Abraham Answer won the 2018 Australian Open by 5 strokes, by the way.
Oh, wow.
5 strokes.
Yeah, he played well.
Guess who we beat? Who came second? Do you remember?
Oh, God.
Someone who has come up on this podcast a couple of times.
I'm going to say Adam Scott.
Demetrius
Papadakis with the big biceps.
Yeah.
Yes, one of my favourites. I think I've got him starred in my on the PGA app. So and that was at the Lakes, Dan.
Yeah, it was at the Lakes.
Was at the Lakes. Okay, good. Okay, so that's the number one, and that's where this conversation started. I'll go way back.
Yeah.
I was a 16-year-old and I qualified for the Victorian Open at Yarra Yarra. Now, back then, they've changed the order of the first hole, but back then, it was the 211-metre par 3 to a tiny little tabletop green down a hill. And I remember standing on that tee. It was the first. Actually qualified for the Tassie Open the week before. So I qualified for the Tassie Open as a 16-year-old, came and qualified again in the Vic Open and qualified there. I stood on that tee. I didn't know what with a 3-iron. Back in the old days when the 3-iron was a 3-iron. And honestly, it was
just think, it's a short par 4.
Well, you could, but if you know the hole, I mean, a lot of people that have played Yarra Yarra, that old green. What number is it now? That you play one. It must be about the 5th hole now. The way it sets up now, but it used to be the first. And you want to get off to a good start. You just want a nice breezy little 3-wood opener.
Could be the third now,
ideally,
I think, actually.
Something like that. Yeah, maybe it is the third now.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway,
Tough
that was a killer first hole.
going international, and now, again, I only played one tournament here, so it's kind of a weird one, but some of the hardest tee shots are the straightest. Like there's just no dog leg and you just got to go straight. And at this course, you knew if you missed the fairway, you were dead. Oakmont. First hole, dead straight. Rough was like so thick, 2007, the hardest golf course I've ever played.
Long par 4?
Long par 4. Second shot's downhill.
Yeah.
Down the hill. But if you don't get this ball on the fairway with this rough, and there's kind of nothing to look at because it's dead straight. There's no real things in the background where you go, I'll pick out that. It's just like, okay, I just got to hit this straight. And sometimes the hardest shots are and then right, if you go way right, well, there's out of bounds, which didn't really come into play. But my goodness, it was just such a smelly tee shot.
Yuck.
It was horrible.
Yuck.
Horrible.
You played well that week, didn't you? Did you play well that week?
Yeah, I did. I shot 15 over and I played really well. You know what 15 over finished? It finished like 20th or 22nd. That's how hard the golf course was.
You came 20th in the US Open.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Cabrera shot 5 or 6 over and won. The cut was 10 or 11 over. It was a joke how hard it was. Anyway.
I remember he just hit a complete flush on the last, didn't he, Cabrera?
Yeah, he did. He did. And that's where JJ Spawn recently won. And But anyway, tough, smelly opening hole. All right. Go back down to Oz now.
Once upon a time, the Australian, when he used to play in the Australian Open there, had a nice little soft par 5.
Great little par 5.
Beautiful
Loved it.
little par 5. You know, there was a bunker on the right and you could just hit one down the left. And then if you're any good, you'd hit your 3-wood around the corner, turn it around the trees. Yeah. And if you missed the green, it didn't matter, particularly if the greatest bunker player who ever lived, you'd just stick it to 2 foot and he'd walk to the next tee. 1 under par. Thank you. But then you know what they did, Nick? They changed it to a par 4. That changed everything. Now it's so ridiculous. That shouldn't change anything. But I reckon, I've got a feeling they might have put the tee back a little bit and that fairway trap on the right.
I could never carry it.
Became uncarryable for me.
Same here.
And then you had to aim, because the last thing you want to do is put in that fairway trap, because you couldn't get home from the fairway trap, which means you had to aim a little bit further left. And then if you missed it left into the rough,
you got nothing.
You couldn't turn the ball out of the rough. And it went from being a beautiful little snoozer to being
Welcome
a
to the
shocker start. So isn't it amazing? That's just mental.
Yeah.
That's just completely two tiny little changes completely changes the whole.
First time I played with Greg Norman was at the Australian Golf Club. Third round. He walked onto the tee and, it's the sea of people just spreading. It's like Moses parting. You see the Akubra hat coming your way.
Up with 10 seconds to go
and
before
I
he
was
called the name.
Absolutely crapping myself. Yeah. And he said, "Hi, I'm Greg." And I wanted to say, "Yeah, no shit, Sherlock." But I said, Hi, I'm Nick. And away we went. But all I remember is that first tee. I thought, thank goodness this hole is downhill, because even if I thin it or cold top it, it's going to tumble down there somewhere, because I was so nervous. Such a hard tee shot. All right, going back international, another very hard, tough straight hole to begin the day. Long, strong par 4. They had many a match play there. The first hole at Wentworth. Gee, it's a hard hole.
Yeah,
really tough. They used to have fairway bunkers down the right. I don't know if they're there anymore, but if you go too far, you get on this downslope, and the ball never stayed in the fairway. It always ran off to the side, and then you got this uphill second shot. Brutally tough opening hole. However, strangely, my best rounds came whenever I bogeyed the first. And I remember bogeying the first at Wentworth one year and shooting 63 and just sort of lit up the rest of the course. But that opening tee shot is so difficult. Very smelly.
I'm thinking to myself, is it a left-hander's issue? Is that what it is down there?
It's a dead straight hole. I don't know what it is. Okay. It just never – something about dead straight holes, opening tee shots, which kind of gets me. It's a little bit like – and now I've never – played this course, but we've seen it on TV recently, and because I've had a couple of British Opens there, is the first hole at Port Rush. Now, that's a different reason. Out of bounds left,
both sides.
Out of bounds right.
That's right.
Good luck with that, by the way. Haven't played it, but it looks like a smelly hole.
How about the style of drive that players were hitting off that first tee? They were all teeing it down low and hitting driver stingers or irons. Some of the irons were only just making the fairway.
Back into the teeth.
Because it was putting the fear of God into the best players in the world. Now, from out of bounds to out of bounds.
It's fairly wide.
That's right.
Yeah,
it would have been about, 55, 60 metres?
Well, the thing is when you hit into the wind, and if you get it up and you misshit it, away she goes, right? So
That's
if you
right.
flush it, it's not too bad. But
It's funny, I always knew there was out of bounds to the left, but it actually took somebody to hit the ball right for me to work out that it was out of bounds left and right.
Well, Rory hooked it left. Remember a couple of opens ago
that's
when they had the first one there at Port Rush and he
That's right.
straight out of bounds left.
That's right.
First shot of the tournament.
Remember Cameron Smith's drive? He did he hit an iron or he hit it, whatever it was. It was a dirty toe hook.
Duck hook.
Nasty shot.
Didn't
that he
make
hit
the
off that
fairway
foot.
or something, did it?
I don't think it made.
Might have been an iron.
I reckon he hit a fat hook.
Yeah.
So it's
when
one
you
of those
see players doing that, you know that they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because the only other hole I can think of that has out of bounds left and right where it's played in Ashley is Pebble Beach's first. But that's kind of like a little dinky.
it's not
really.
Well, it's a
dink.
It's a dink.
It's
up
a
to
dink
the
off the
corner and then a
first.
short iron in. It's not that big a
It's
deal.
not that big a deal.
Guys, we're going to go to the turn, and when I come back, I want one final smelly hole from each of you.
All right.
Is it first hole? Because we're doing first holes.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Sorry,
Yeah,
first
yeah,
hole.
okay.
Sorry, yeah, first
Yeah,
hole.
okay.
Yeah.
Where that makes you squirm.
Yes, we'll do that next.
Right. Hey guys, I was in at the Golf Clearance Outlet the other week and I was doing some of those amazing commercials that you see on social media.
Amazing.
Anyway, there was a punter in there and he was in the golf simulators where they use the four-side GC quads, mind you, so they're pretty flash.
They are.
And what he was doing, he was actually trying clubs that were on the rack
Nice.
at the Golf Clearance Outlet.
That's the way to do it, isn't
And
it?
so they had TaylorMade clubs, you had Callaway clubs, you had lots of Titleist gear. They were all over the place. And he was just going from one club to the next. He was actually purchasing irons off the rack. And then if you wanted some bigger grips or shorter clubs or longer clubs, you could get fitted out the back.
Perfect. Yeah, those GC quads as well. They give such good data. The technology is amazing. All the tour pros are using them as well. So you may as well use the best.
Well, Sam Colosimo, who runs the Golf Clearance Outlet right around the country, every single store has the four-side GC quads to help you purchase the best clubs you've ever had.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie to Me. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. The Golf Clearance Outlet, they beat everyone's prices. Ping will help you play your best. And better, ahead of the game. Now for Titleist, the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick and Mark.
Okay, welcome back. We've done a few holes that give you the heebie-jeebies when you're standing on that first tee. I'm going to put forward, and I know, have you got one in your head?
Yeah, but it's more the whole golf course puts me in a squirmy position
Okay.
but the opening tee shot for me was just always
All right,
awful.
well, let's see. I've never played this course.
Okay.
Is it this course? The course you're thinking of? Have I
I don't know.
played it?
Well, it's in Florida.
No,
No?
I've
Okay.
got a different one.
Okay.
I've got a different one, and it's only because it's got nothing to do with the hole. It's more to do with the tournament.
Okay.
Augusta's first.
Oh, Augusta. Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
never played it. I can only relay stories where people talk about standing on the first when they're near the lead, or it's the first time they stood on the first tee as a professional. I think Stuart Appleby one year hit it basically into the media centre.
Yeah.
Which is a long way.
It's
It's
a long way
almost like,
right.
if you've ever been to Augusta,
It's doable.
his ball went over the scoreboard that when you walk into the. So I've only ever heard of that, but you know, it is the one tee where you can visibly see players churning away.
Yeah.
Their brain. You can see visually what's going on between their ears when they stand on that first tee.
It is
It's terrifying for the first time.
Oh, there's no other way to say this, and apologies to my mum who listens to the pod, but you are absolutely shitting yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you really are crapping your pants because you've built it up in your mind. You've watched this tournament for so many years, and now it's actually happening. And the guy's gone, 4 please, now playing Nick O'Hearn. And it's like, holy mother. But the good news on that sense, that tee shot for me, I always found if trouble was up the left, that's what I hated.
Yeah.
Trouble's up the right there. You got the fairway bunker and then way right, the media centre, obviously. So the hole didn't bother me so much. It was more the occasion. And I was just so thankful to get the ball away.
And the funny thing is, you could recreate that hole somewhere else.
Somewhere, yeah.
And it is, well, it's not quite a snoozer.
No,
there's no reason to be squirmy.
It's a good hole.
Yeah.
There's
no reason to squirm, but
it is one of the toughest opening
the
holes.
The tournament, it changes everything. Okay,
Yeah,
what's
very
this hole in Florida?
The tournament, which I have a lot of bad history here, is Bay Hill, the golf course itself. Yeah,
Poor old Arnie's up there.
I know I've told the story before about my coach coming over, and he said he always wanted to play Bay Hill. And I says, Neil, we don't want to go there. It's not that great. And anyway, he insisted. And we played it, and he walked off, and he said, well, that was the biggest disappointment in my golfing life, basically.
Because I've watched that tournament.
It looks great on TV.
And I want to play Bay Hill.
I know, it looks great on TV, but it's not a great golf course.
I want to go get a little umbrella, a shirt, and walk out with it.
And the opening tee shot, dogleg round to the left, out of bounds left. I'm talking about, it's a fair way left, but it's in the back of your mind. And it's just an awkward one for me because it's a long hole. It's got deep rough on both sides, and it just gets me off to a start, which I'm not comfortable with, and it carries me through the 18 holes, basically. And it is the only time in my professional career where I've been disqualified from a tournament.
Oh. What happened?
I've told you this before.
I still want to know again. I want to hear the story again.
Back in the day, they used to have a rule: if you didn't play the Pro-Am, or you pulled out of the Pro-Am, or you didn't show up for your tee time, you got disqualified from the tournament.
That's right.
John Daly didn't show up for his tee time, and I thought I was an alternate in the afternoon Pro-Am. Turns out I was an alternate in the morning Pro-Am. And the guy, I was actually second alternate. The first alternate was Ruigi Amata, and he thought he was in the afternoon as well because the sheet was wrong. And I'm telling you, the PGA Tour, after all these years, they screwed us, Mark. They screwed us. 3 players got DQ'd from the tournament. However, the good news was straight after that, they changed the rule.
Oh, you're joking.
Wow.
Yeah, we call it the Daly, Imada, O'Hearn rule.
It would be. They changed the rule.
Well, they changed it to where the fact that the tour now contact the players saying, look, where are you, blah, 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 sending tee times. I live 5 minutes away. I could have been there. I was having breakfast with my kids.
Just call me.
Wilbur rings me up and he says, mate, we got a problem. You've been DQ'd.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
As you can tell.
Was there a fine?
No, there was no fine because it was not my fault.
You just couldn't play into that tournament.
Wasn't allowed to play, and as you can tell, I'm completely over it.
Yeah.
On the positive side, though, you missed playing that first hole you hate so much.
That's true. It actually saved me from a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Give me one more. I want to ask. I never played it during an Open, but St Andrews. What was it like? Because that's when I played it, it was just I was having a look.
Yeah.
It was nothing, and I had some butterflies, but not squirming. But I imagine it could be a squirmer.
Twice in my career I've had my knees shake on the first tee. One was the President's Cup, and one was the first tee shot at St Andrews in my first Open. I think it was 2000.
What club did you hit off the tee? Can you remember?
Oh, funnily enough, everyone I play with hits iron, 3-wood. Yeah. But I always remember Peter Thompson saying, just chip a driver down there, because the further you down you go, the better off you are. Driver's the biggest club. Yeah. So when you're feeling nervous, guess what?
That's right.
Big club's a handy thing to have.
Yeah.
I just used to always chip and run a driver. If it was downwind, I'd do the same. Yeah. Into the wind, fine. You just hit a normal driver. Fairway's a mile wide open, obviously. Yeah. But I loved it. The greatest thing about the hole is they put the pin at the front, and you've got
tough hole.
It's a tough hole. Yeah. If you want to take it on, you're risking double. If you don't, you're going to have 2 putts from 40 feet, which is pretty hard on the first hole of an Open Championship. So, fantastic design. I loved it.
Okay.
You know what would be good? If there's any Wolfpackers listening who have at their local club a really ordinary first hole, it'd be great to hear about them.
Yes.
Not ordinary, it's more smelly.
Yes,
you feel uncomfortable.
You feel uncomfy. Yeah.
I mean, the first hole at Kingston Heath, it's a little uncomfortable for me, that tee shot, I must admit. I don't know. Is the range out of bounds left or not?
No.
Okay. I'm comfortable now. That's good.
No, it's not out of bounds.
I always thought it was out of bounds.
No, it's no problem. It's no problem. Yeah, but if you do have a hole that is the first somewhere out there in Australia, give us a yell. In fact, around the world, we've got Wolfpackers all over the place. Tell us about that opening hole and why you feel uncomfortable. Folks, we'll catch you next time.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The Golf Clearance Outlet, they beat everyone's prices. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Better, ahead of the game. Ping will help you play your best. And Host Plus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie Same's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie Same.
Front 9, back 9, or eyeing the 19th hole, wherever you are in life, Host Plus can help you drive your retirement further. That's a plus.